If you are in Africa, it means you've been following closely or you know about the AU chairman leadership elections that were going on between the Djibouti candidate, the Kenyan candidate, and the Mauritanian candidate. It has been a very, very tight race and a very, very emotional one. Me as a Kenyan, this race has been a mix of emotions, even in social media, in Kenyan social media, everywhere this is everything we've been talking about. As to Kenyan, it felt as if this was Ruto election. It was a Ruto thing, and if you're in Kenya, the President Ruto is not a popular personality currently, and Raila has lost the trust of the Kenyan people. You might be wondering that during this election, Kenyans were calling for other countries not to vote for Raila, one of their own. They wrote emails on X, they were very vocal, telling other countries not to vote for Raila, and they had their own reasons, some of which we are going to look into. This also, with the position that Kenya is in, I think it also really, really contributed. Previously, there is this conflict that has been going on in DRC between the government and the M23. And the SADC troops were thrown out of they were defeated, they waved a white flag, and they were kicked out of the country by the M23 rebels. If you don't know what is going on in Congo, go into my channel and look it up. I've explained the war that is going on in Congo. So, after this defeat, and when the M23 troops proceeded and they took over Goma, instead of the president of Kenya inserted himself. Instead of talking with the president of Congo, he called the French president Emmanuel Macron, and he posted about how they have talked about the situation in Congo. And if you follow African politics, Macron is not a very popular figure in the Western countries. He's been accused of terror, of neocolonialism. He was even kicked out of Burkina Faso and all that stuff. So Ruto calling Macron about the situation in Congo, this really, really angered the Western countries, and this was a factor that contributed to the Kenyan candidate Raila Odinga losing the AU seat. Okay, economic-wise, Kenya is a very, very fast-growing economy. It's a giant. Kenyan economy is tripling every year. Every year, Kenyan economy is growing. So I think with the position that the Kenyan country holds economic-wise in Kenya, I think other countries felt that if they gave the Kenyan candidate this vote, it would elevate the Kenyan economic or the Kenyan status in Africa. I think it was a hint of jealousy, I don't know, but they felt threatened by the Kenyan status, that where it currently lies, and everything. Also, looking back at home, the reason why most of the Kenyans were not in support of their candidate Raila. If you're in Kenya, if you're in Africa, you saw the widespread broadcast protest in June of last year by the Gen Zs against the financial bill, which later led to mass abduction, mass killing of the Gen Z. And then Baba, who came in and joined the protests, went into the government that the agencies were protesting against, gave some of his party people to the government so that it can ease the electoral, the political pressure in the country against the government of William Ruto. And this, to many Gen Zs, it felt like the ultimate betrayal. This is where Raila lost the trust of the Gen Zs. And if you're in the social media, the Gen Zs of Kenya are woke. they are participating in the conversation. They are not like the millennials or the boomers. They are participating in the political topics that are being talked about. So this felt like a betrayal to them, and it felt like a stab in the back. People in Twitter crucified him even after his loss. You can see some of the tweets that were coming from Kenya. They were really not nice. Others congratulated Baba. They told him he has done his best, because despite everything, Baba was, a very, very vocal political figure in politics since long before even he vied for the AU seat. And this all started back when the picture emerged where they were in Uganda visiting Museveni. It was Baba, Ruto and Museveni, and this really raised some eyebrows. The Gen Zs felt betrayed. Baba lost the trust of the Kenyan people, and this really contributed to the many tweets for the Kenyan people supporting the Djibouti candidate. And most Kenyan people also felt that Baba was very old. He was old for him to be fronted as a candidate. This is an issue that the Gen Zs have really put forward, that even you see in matters concerning youth, the leader of the youth in public is a very old guy, and this is really not rubbing well with the Gen Z. It's not sitting well with the Gen Zs and the people from Kenya. Those are some of the. Also, Ruto fronted. Most felt that this was Ruto's plan, because if Baba won the AU, Ruto would control the Nyanza region, and Ruto has already lost the mountain, so he needs another region to control the vote. Since the mountain is gone, he needs another replacement, and if Baba is still in the political field, he does not have Nyanza region. So this was a way of minimizing the opposition. Okay, those were my reasons as to why Baba lost. Tell me what you think. What you think the reasons are, or what you would like me to talk about. Until next time, bye.